Hello, and welcome to xCellento. In today's video, we'll see the top 10 most famous paintings in the world. So let's begin with number 10 on our list, American Gothic. The American Gothic painting was shown publicly for the first time in 1930 at the Art Institute of Chicago, where it can still be seen today. Even if you don't know the name of the painting or its painter, you will almost certainly have seen it somewhere before. When it was first shown to the public, many critics interpreted it to be a commentary on the restrictions and severity of rural life in the United States. The American Gothic painting depicts a woman wearing a colonial print apron and a man holding a pitchfork, evoking 19th century Americana. It shows a farmer standing next to his daughter, who is frequently misinterpreted as being the farmer's wife. Grant Wood, the maker of the painting, used brushwork with a rough texture in American Gothic in order to attract the attention of the viewer. The lack of shading on the wall is another indicator of the sparseness of the brushstrokes. This method contributes to the production of a more dynamic art piece that stands out in comparison to other paintings of its kind. Number 9. The Persistence of Memory. This piece of art by Salvador Dali is one of the best and most distinctive pieces of bizarre art of all time. It truly stands out from the crowd. We can see melting pocket watches hanging across a desolate landscape in this 1931 artwork. Dali's remarkable invention is present at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. One of the most amazing things about this art is its connection with Albert Einstein's theory of relativity. This dreamlike scenery reflects a Freudian emphasis on the landscape, while the melted watches may refer to Einstein's theory of relativity, in which the scientist references the distortion of space and time. The painting epitomizes Dali's theories of softness and hardness, which were central to his thinking at the time. His message is that our subliminal unconscious mind is present in what we do in our daily lives and has more power over us than man-made objects of the conscious world. Elements from Salvador Dali's artwork have become legendary in their own right, with names like the soft watches and the melting watches. The persistence of memory has attained high heights of recognition since it was painted. Another amazing thing about this painting is that the canvas used was just 24 by 33 centimeters. According to an estimate, the persistence of memory is valued anywhere between 50 million and 150 million US dollars. Number 8. The Kiss. Gustav Klimt's Kiss is the most well-known Austrian painting. It depicts a couple embracing amid a meadow of flowers on the edge of a cliff, dressed in lavishly decorated robes. The work was created in 1908, during Klimt's golden period, when he pioneered a new method of mixing gold leaf with oils and bronze paint. Klimt was making an allegorical message about love being at the center of human existence in this early 20th century piece. The lover's clothing is covered in gold leaf, while the background is flecked with gold, silver, and even platinum flakes. From its initial display in 1908, the Austrian state bought the Kiss for the newly created Modern Gallery, which was situated at the Lower Belvedere. The price paid for this painting by the Austrian government was both record-breakingly high and an incredible bargain. The government paid a record-breaking 25,000 crowns for the painting. This sum translates to around $240,000. Since then, the artwork has been in Belvedere's collection. Number 7. Nighthawks. Nighthawks, painted by Edward Hopper in 1942, is another of the Art Institute of Chicago's most renowned artworks. In this oil painting, we can see the gloom of a metropolis at night. The piece displays a cheap restaurant, which is quite clean and brightly illuminated. The observer may gaze inside the restaurant through huge windows, which are typical of an American diner. In the artwork, there are 4 figures: 2 male customers, a female customer, and a man behind the counter who looks to be serving the customers. The male patrons are dressed in black suits, as was customary at the time the painting was created, while the female patron wears a vivid red shirt. The picture depicts a sensation of sleeplessness that is unique to a late-night American metropolis, with the bright lights of the restaurant appearing to be a safe haven amid the darkness of the shuttered stores and abandoned buildings that surround it. This masterpiece was completed in 1942 and captures the paradox of loneliness in urban life. The picture is rather enormous, measuring around 5 by 3 feet in size. You can estimate its value from the fact that Hopper sold this masterpiece in 1942 for $3,000. The Nighthawk is the most well-known of Hopper's amazing works. Number 6. The Great Wave off Kanagawa. Hokusai used a woodblock print technique to create the most renowned artwork to come out of Japan, the Great Wave off Kanagawa, probably between 1829 and 1833. The spectacular picture has a gigantic wave threatening to swallow 3 fishing boats. This painting is so famous because of the Japanese sentiments that are attached with this painting. The Great Wave can be taken as a symbolic image of an important change happening in Japanese society. A change which brings the presence of the foreign influences coming from the uncertainty of the sea and opposed to the firmness and stillness of Mount Fuji, which is the established symbol for the soul of Japan. Original impressions of the Great Wave off Kanagawa can be seen in the British Museum and the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Number 5. Water Lilies. In 1893, Monet, who was a passionate horticulturist, purchased land with a pond near his property in Giverny, intending to build something for the pleasure of the eye and also for motifs to paint. The result was his water lily garden. Between 1896 and 1926, Claude Monet painted a series of water lilies at his residence in Giovanni. There are over 250 distinct paintings in this collection. The painting's principal subject is a water lily pond in the back of his garden with many other flowers. Almost all of these 250 paintings show a wooden bridge and a magnificent weeping willow. The paintings of Claude Monet are instantly identifiable and are on exhibit in museums all over the world. You can estimate the worth of these paintings by the fact that only one of Claude Monet's famous water lily paintings was sold for $43 million in New York auction. And there are a total of 250 distinct paintings in this famous series. Number 4. Night Watch. Night Watch is undoubtedly the most renowned artwork in the RIC Museum in Amsterdam. Painted in 1642 by Rembrandt van Rijn, it is one of the most exquisite paintings to ever emerge from the Dutch Golden Age. The massive canvas depicts a group of city guards heading forth to practice their shooting. For much of its life, the painting was covered in black varnish, giving the false appearance that it showed a night scene, thus the name Night Watch. The picture is known for its dramatic use of light, which gives the impression that the life-size characters are moving in front of our eyes. In 2010, the Night Watch was valued at about $1 million. No word on how much this masterpiece would fetch today. Number 3. The Scream. Edvard Munch's Scream is a sequence of expressionist paintings depicting an agonizing person against a gory crimson sky. The landscape is the Oslo fjord in the backdrop, as seen from a hill in Oslo. When Munch painted the Scream in 1893, he was inspired by a gust of melancholy, as he declared in his diary. It's because of this, coupled with the artist's personal life trauma, that the painting takes on a feeling of abnormal. The Scream was not simply a product of stress or an uncharacteristic moment of panic. It symbolizes the darkly troubled times Munch was experiencing as he dealt with mental illness and trauma, and his attempt to rationalize and explain his experience through what he knew best, painting. Edvard Munch used a variety of media to produce several renditions of the Scream. In 2012, this painting was sold in an auction in New York for $120 million. Number 2. Girl with a Pearl Earring. Despite its similarities to the Mona Lisa, Johannes Vermeer's Girl with a Pearl Earring is not a portrait. It is believed to have been painted around 1665. The intriguing artwork displays an imagined female wearing a blue turban and a large sparkling pearl earring. It became iconic for the distinct position of the girl, her enigmatic gaze, the colors, and the delicate quality of the light. The pearl earring even inspired a 2003 film starring Scarlett Johansson as Johanna Spearmeer's assistant. The work permanently resides in the Mauritshuis Museum in the Netherlands. Since Mauritshuis Museum would never sell it, it is priceless work now. Still, if you want to estimate its price, the last painting of Vermeer to be publicly sold was in 2004, and it went for around $30 million, and that painting was nowhere near the girl with a pearl earring. Number 1. The Last Supper. Between 1495 and 1498, Leonardo da Vinci painted The Last Supper. This painting has been hailed as a masterpiece since its completion and has been praised as such throughout history. The painting represents the scene of the Last Supper of Jesus with the 12 apostles, as it is told in the Gospel of John. It specifically depicts the moment when Jesus announces that one of his apostles will betray him, and the reaction to the announcement. Unfortunately, this masterpiece has been painted, repainted, tampered with, and almost destroyed countless times. Along with Mona Lisa and the Virgin of the Rocks, The Last Supper is one of his most famous masterpieces. This painting is said to be worth $450 million. So that's all for today, guys. Tell us your views in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notifications of our new videos. See you in the next video.